that is basically simple. You create your JavaScript file, Blazor interop, and then you will have here your show alert. You see, it's just an alert message, your log to console. So basically all the functions from JavaScript. And the only thing that we have to do, if we go to the .NET Core JavaScript, and you can see here the compositions of components. You have a component, and then we have several components inside. Then we can go to our component folder and select one of those components. And if you see here, there is just a button that you click, the show alert, and the show alert basically take the JS runtime that is injected here, as we discussed before, and invoke that function. So basically, the only thing that you need to take in account here is that you need to pass the name of the file, if you have it here, and the method that you're passing. So it's because we have several files, you say, okay, this Blazor interrupt show alert, and then we go here and we show that we have the show alert method. That is what you're passing. It has a parameter, and just basically you're telling it, hey, say this value. That's it. That the same thing you can see, you can pass here an object. You have all those things at your disposal. Now, what happened? And I wanted to briefly go into this JavaScript interop because that's one of the things on the custom component integration, especially with DevString. DevString is all about JavaScript, and then when we want to integrate it, we need to know how to move from the .NET world to JavaScript and to the JavaScript to the .NET world. And let's see, JavaScript called .NET, and we have here the other methods, the other components that you are instantiated. Then we can check those components. We are still injecting the JS runtime, but right here, one thing that is important is this .NET object reference. So we create this, so we can tell our JavaScript interop, okay, here is our .NET reference. Please use it to call me back. Then we make a method, set Windows size, for example, and we make a JS invocable. With that in place, and that's it, we can go to our Blazor interop, and then you can go and find, okay, .NET, we pass the reference to that .NET reference, and you say invoke method, and you can tell, okay, invoke the method, set Windows size. You see, you pass the .NET object reference, and you're able to send back information. So think about the possibilities that we can do from one side to the other one. We can be from .NET to JavaScript from .NET. And let me show you one example of that. And I'm going to start showing things so I can delete it in XAF Blazor. So if you see here, one thing that I forgot to mention, and let's go back to that example, is that we need to, of course, our application needs to know where all those scripts are. So in our host page, we need to add a reference to that script that it will have all our logic. That's it, nothing else. Now, if we have a XAF Blazor application, same thing, we have a JavaScript file, we go to our host, and our host has, right here is the script to Blazor server, but we need to, actually, I think in this one, I was already a little more advanced because now we can call it when we are actually needed. So we talk about that in a little bit. So basically, we add the reference to JavaScript, and then let's say this is a component from Syncfusion. So we are going to be basically creating a new spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet has a lot of methods in the JavaScript world. So we're going to make sure that when we put a value here, we save it. That when we do something in this world, we let XAF know, oh, hey, remember, call the .NET function. Hey, remember, do all of those things that we need to do. So we're going to be calling from .NET to JavaScript and to JavaScript from .NET. And if we take a look at the code quickly, and I just wanted to give you a quick teaser. And this is right here. We have this JavaScript file that is actually using that. It's using the .NET helper and invoking a method in our spreadsheet editor. And if we go to the spreadsheet editor, then we can see how do we have this spreadsheet modified. So we're calling from there to our editor, because at the end, these are if you think XAF is just list editor, property editor, custom view item, and you're good to go. If you know how to work with all of those things, you can actually create those integrations. So we're going to cover the creation of list editor, of property editor, of view item and template, and then we're going to come back to this.